Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Diaries, episode 60. Really getting into those big boy numbers. Pretty happy with how consistent I've been at, posting these series. Whether they're that interesting or not, whether they're actually helping people or not, fuck knows. Really have no clue. I always wonder whether it's actually hurting my views a little bit in the channel, because typically what I do right now is I'll post like 2 regular videos a week and I'll do one of these Diaries episodes. And these Diaries episodes are always like super low views, like typically under 100. And I always wonder, basically a few videos I've done recently pretty well. Some got up to like 9,000, 10,000 views, which is good for me. I know it's small numbers, but I always wonder, like, if after I have like a video that does pretty well and gets up into the multiple thousands of views, do I harm my channel by posting a Diaries episode, which is typically like, 60 views? I don't know enough about how YouTube works, honestly, but I have thought about that. But we're going to keep going anyway, because, I'm 60 episodes in now, so what am I going to do? Stop posting? So, yeah, I wanted to talk today probably a little bit about something a little bit less business related, or at least like less strategy related, which some of you might find annoying because you just come here and you're just like, Sam, tell me the latest split test you're doing, or tell me the latest ads that's working for you. But something happened in the past week which happens to me a little bit, and I wanted to share it because maybe some of you feel the same. And yeah, I don't know. So like typically what will happen randomly, and it doesn't happen that often, but it might happen, I don't know, maybe it happens even once a quarter, maybe even more often than that. I don't know. I don't count. But I'll get these days where for whatever reason, I physically can't get myself to like do any meaningful work, and my like motivation will be on the absolute floor. And it usually happens after like I spend like an evening like consuming too much Instagram or social media. And it's not like I'm looking at the stuff and I'm being like, oh, like, comparing myself to others, and I'm like, oh, I should be so much further ahead, and then I get like demotivated. I don't know what it is. There's no like, I've not found what the trigger is, but typically I'll have these days, and it happened halfway through last Thursday. I'm filming this on a Monday, and all of Friday. And I think it was during my break on Thursday, I think I was fucking got caught up consuming too much shit on either YouTube or Instagram, which is annoying. And then like, for whatever reason, I was just like demotivated to work the rest of that Thursday. And I've been working pretty hard, I would say, since I got back from my trip a few weeks ago. So maybe I thought, just a little bit of, I don't know, tired, a little bit of burnout. So I kind of didn't work the Thursday afternoon, but then I felt the exact same on Friday, where again, I can't really explain it, but I just couldn't be fucked, basically. Like couldn't, even though I have stuff to do, couldn't be asked. And, I did the standard stuff, check in on Slack, reply to some emails, send out a few marketing emails that I'd already written. But like when it came to creating anything new or doing actually like meaningful work, just could not be fucked. And I was in like a shitty mindset of like scrolling on my fucking phone, just watching stupid videos. Yeah, and just couldn't be arsed working. And I get it. I would say, yeah, like every couple of, maybe once a quarter. I don't know. Yeah, maybe happens a few times every 6 months or so. And usually, like I catch myself doing it now. And usually what happens after that is I snap back into it after a couple of days, and then like I'm super motivated. And that kind of happened on Saturday and Sunday. So I pretty much worked most of this weekend just because I kind of had my motivation back. But it's weird. And I don't really know like why it happens. Like I said, I've not really figured out the trigger. But it does happen. And it probably happens to like a lot more people. Like some days, honestly, I just like during those days, I just cannot be asked to work. Whatever it is, even though like stuff, relatively speaking, is going pretty well. There's nothing bad that's happened. Like it's not like, I don't know, we had an ad account get banned, or, we lost a client or anything like that. Relatively, everything's going well. And I've actually got some exciting things coming over the next couple of months across, different businesses. but I still couldn't be asked. I don't know why. Maybe some of you guys, get to that. I try and snap myself out of it, but it usually does last a day or two. And then after that, I'm typically fine. But I don't really know the reason for it. I don't even know why I'm sharing this. There's no lesson behind it, I don't think. Just to kind of show you this shit does happen. And you're not always super motivated. Because I know I was going to say my brand then, but I don't really have a brand. I have about 5 followers. So I cringe a little bit if I say I have a brand because I don't have one. But, how I post online, I don't really, I really only post on YouTube and Twitter. And I like to feel like I'm not, someone who's trying to flex on people and be like, oh, look how amazing my life is. But I am very conscious that, with my YouTube videos, a lot of them are how we made our client $1 million, how we made, how we got 10x ROAS, how to make, how to sign client, everything's super positive. And there's a lot of numbers involved in the titles just because that's what gets the clicks and that's what gets the views. I feel like I like to deliver value in my videos, but a lot of the time it's this ad campaign generated our client $200,000. And even though everything that I say on my YouTube is 100% true, I would never lie on any of the income from our clients. And I've mentioned my own income a few times on the channel in terms of client retainers that we signed and stuff like that. I don't really do it too much just because I don't find it that interesting. And again, never lied about anything like that. But I am conscious that people might look at this and be like, oh, Sam's just this fucking magician that, every ad campaign he launches, he's scaling, everything's happy. He's all he must be living a great life. Look at him. And again, I don't really share lifestyle stuff, but there is an overriding sense of oh, look, everything I touch turns to fucking gold. And that's not the case. I do try and share losses as well, mostly in these Diaries episodes, because to be honest with you, I have an agency, I have this business that I do the Diaries episodes on, and then I also have a few different collaboration offers. And to be honest with you, the business that the Diaries episode is on is probably the slowest burner in terms of it's been the hardest to get up and running, and it's the one, I've had some collaboration offers that I've done more in a few months in take home income than this business has, for the longest time. Maybe that's another conversation to have around, choosing your business model and choosing your businesses. But so I do try and share some losses, and this business, definitely hasn't been as fast or scaled as fast or has earned me as much money as I wanted to from the outset, which obviously I'm working on changing. But I think the point is, it's just some days, I just, again, it doesn't happen that often, but once a quarter, maybe a couple of days goes by where it's the middle of the week and I can't be fucked. And I try and because it's happened a few times now, I understand it a little bit more. And I know that the next day, potentially, I'm going to snap back into work mode and be super motivated. But I think it's important not to fucking hate on yourself about it. Because I know some people online will just be oh, you're a fucking pussy. You've not hit all your goals yet. What are you lying on the sofa for, watching fucking YouTube on a Thursday at 2 p.m. or something like that? And I agree, that's not where I want to be, but it does happen now and again. And I try to I do try and snap myself back out of it because I don't like doing that. And I know it's, if I want to get to where I want to go, then I need to not do that very often, if not at all. But I also don't completely hate on myself because I don't think that's very productive either. And I think, again, hopefully they don't happen very often, but when they do happen, I let the process, I kind of let myself go through it and understand that, in 24 hours or maybe the day after, I'm going to be kind of back to normal. And I do try and make up for it. So this, I mentioned, this weekend, I worked pretty much the whole weekend as if they were the Saturday specifically, I worked all day just to try and, combat the lost time that happened on the Thursday and Friday. But yeah, everything isn't perfect, or as it seems anyway online. I definitely know that for a fact. I know a bunch of people who make a lot more money than me, but they also like struggle with motivation, personal problems, doing the work, making decisions, confidence, starting something, but then stopping it a week later. All the shit everyone kind of like experiences or goes through. So yeah, like I said, I don't really know where I was going through that point, but because that's happened to me in the past week, I wanted to make a video on it, and I didn't just want to come on and talk about, ads that we're running and stuff like that, because I think it's important that's part of, this video series anyway. It's called the Diaries because it's supposed to show me kind of what I would be writing in my diary at any given point. And obviously part of that is the business and the updates and what we're working on and the strategies we're using. But part of that is also just like how I feel about everything on a day-to-day basis as well. So anyway, I'm back. I'm feeling good. A couple of days off at the end of last week. Got over it now, out of my slump, stopped being a, little soft bitch, and yeah, ready for an exciting end to August for this business. We've got next week we're launching a few different things. I think I talked about it maybe on one of the other videos, looking at like a secondary offer. That should be launching at the end of next month. So going to start working and prepping on that. We'll of course let you know how that goes. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.